day. It always fires me up. Always fires me up. Welcome, everyone. How are you doing? So we got news coming in 1 minute. And that is why we are live right now. So we can observe the chart together. Very nice. So hopefully you're having a good day so far. I have a good day. I got this from Mrs. Koens Trading. And yeah, so I got my snacks. I got the chart. Hanging out with all of you was better, right? So I mean, hanging out with wifey, going snowboarding, of course, that's better. But hey, you know, this is a great period to be behind the chart. Expecting some volatility, hopefully, as well. 2 days knowing about Koen, 2 live streams. What's up, Foxman? Welcome back. Fuzi, Tim, Parmeet. Okay, news now. It's now 2:30. Just to, let's see. A little bit of volatility. But here we are. We have 2:30 p.m., right? High impact news. So let's see what happens on the chart. That's why we're live. It will probably be a lot of chatting and Q&A in the stream. And if, you know, based on the new information that we see, we'll analyze the chart. We'll talk about approaches and whatnot. So we're gonna take it easy here and see what we get. No, see what we get. So we reached the resistance. Of course, in the video we kind of touched upon it or touched it, but yeah, we're still around that area. There's a couple of scenarios that I at least have in mind, which I'll share in a second. Let's see for a few minutes what we get on the chart, and then we'll get to a couple of the scenarios that I have in my mind with this structure to the upside. Christian, welcome. Power me, John, by the way. Yesterday in the live stream, John, I was talking about you because Liquid Mafia was in the stream, your countryman. And I was like, yo, I wonder how John is doing. I hope he's doing okay. So it's quite nice to see that out of nowhere, here you are, popping in, man. Yeah, cheers. Welcome. Good to have you. How are you doing? How's work? How's trading? So John used to be a 1 minute machine, and then he went slowly to a bit more swing trading. Ripple, welcome. Jeroen, what's up? Sibel, Arhamna Q, welcome. Good afternoon. Glumore, Mark, Sam. I'm sitting in the sun, 25 degrees Celsius. Yeah. You look, strap a snowboard on my feet. I'll go snowboarding with 25, no problem. I'll be on the mountain in a t-shirt and shorts going down. I'm good. I just love the activity. For me, it doesn't need to be winter on the mountain for me to enjoy my snowboard. I don't mind the slush, you know, a bit of slush puppy later in the day as well. Playing around, I don't mind. Actually, Sam, there are areas, of course, also in the Alps where you can still snowboard in summer. June, July, August. I found a place that does that. It's Les Deux Alpes, the two Alps, basically. Les Deux Alpes. I mean, who knows? It's 5.5 hours driving for me here. Ethan Solana, Breakout, old support, daily do. Okay, Versin, welcome. Jackson, Athram, Chico, Ripple. I'll only listen this time because I'm working at the same time. Oh, all good, Versin. All good. Good to have you here. China raised the tariffs. All the fundamental stuff. A lot has happened this week. Kiwi, how are you doing? Hopefully you're having a good night because for you it is at night. Huh? Amga, Ice Cube Stadium. How are you doing? Biting on my tomato. It's difficult for me to comment with my current setup. No problem, Ice Cubes Lady. Right? Never pressure for anyone to comment, write anything. So if you're watching, no, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. But thanks for the message, Ice Cubes Lady, and pleasure. Always a pleasure. Daylight savings helps a lot now. Okay, well, at least 1 hour earlier. You went from watching live streams at 3 a.m. to watching them at 2 a.m. Expected. Okay, so the PPI as expected. So maybe not expect too much volatility. We don't know. Yesterday it took a little bit as well, right? It's still volatility. This was the candle where the news happened, all right? This one. And then it did take like about 2 hours really before we got some sort of a move. I got to be honest today, everyone. I'm not planning to be online for another almost 5 hours. But we will have a look on the chart, see what information we get here. Warm greetings, Chicho. Welcome. Just popping in. Cheers, Kiwi. Thanks for popping in. I'm French. Bonjour. Would be nice to meet in the south. Hey, if you're in the south, you know, I'm here anyway. Let me check. Let me check after the stream, Emmanuel, because if you registered and deposit 100, then like 100 of anything, and you filled in the form, then after checking, I should be able to see it. Yeah. Cheers, Kiwi. Good night, man. Short night, good trading and swing trading on CRV. Where's John? John, yo, you popped in. Where you at now? Mateus, welcome. Good to have you here. Also a blue badge. Look at everyone having blue badges now. What's that? Cheers, guys. Thanks for the support. Maureen already answered Emmanuel. Maureen, welcome. There you are, Maureen. I don't know, but here's your message. Here's your message. So everything works now. So Maureen was struggling with messages, but here we are. I said, how about you ask us questions about Elliott waves like the other day with simple example? Ah, I see. Challenge you a little bit. Yeah, we can definitely do that. So today is going to be a bit more of a like, I suppose, relaxed stream because we have some news. I just provided the video update earlier. I will share, right, let me just do that right now, some of my thoughts here based on the structure that we have. Then get into chatting Q&A and you know, whatnot. So one of the things I have in mind is a WXY. This would be your wave 5 in the diagonal. Okay. So this is the wave 5 in the diagonal in that case. So you then have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of the waves in the diagonal are then 3-wave structures. So you have ABC in your 1, ABC2, ABC3, ABC4, WXY5. And a WXY would then be ABC, right? Then you have this sideways mess. You can also see it's very, very messy. This section here, right? Very messy, no? So you can have an ABC, you have a diagonal in your A, retracement B, sharp move up in C. After this sharp move up, we kind of like start to move sideways. But then here, we start to gap again, right? So you're gapping again. Initially, you move up, right? You start ranging a bit. So ABC, X, ABC is at least something that I have in mind. The invalidation would be moving below this range here. To be honest, of course, I like taking out the high here would be interesting at some point. So this is one that I keep an eye on, and this would work with the diagonal again, right? Alternatively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a 5-wave structure, right? 1, 2, 3. I should maybe, you either finish 3 here or here. Then you need a 4, and then this is your 5. So that would lead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You look for a bit of a deeper correction then, and then you look for the next move up. Now, if you have a 5-wave finished structure, you generally want to retrace at least to the 0.382 at 81.2. And that is a difference with this scenario, because here your wave B, wait 1 second, this button. Your wave B in a WXY has higher targets, right? 382, 786. While if you go 5, 3, 5, preferably you end between the 05, 786. And the 05 is basically at the invalidation of a WXY. So therefore, it's relatively easy to distinguish, I suppose, between the two. So that's the WXY as well as then the ABC. And alternatively, And this is only if we would tank to the downside. Alternatively, we have this. So W, X, W, and then X here, and then you have 5, 3, 5, so small change. And then you look for a wave B, A, B, C in Y. So then A finish, you get B, you hit support at 77, move up to 84, and then you start going down. The thing is, though, that the weekend is coming up, right? And generally during the weekend, price moves sideways. So the flat is a lot of movement in a what needs to be very short period of time, because this would be a 3-wave move down, preferably a zigzag or double zigzag. Those sharp moves, you would like to see them during the week, but you'll never know. We had some more, I suppose, volatile weekends recently, but most of the time, if you would go back in time, you'll see them go sideways or stay inside the range. So yeah. So that is what I'm looking for at the moment locally. Now, the probabilities of the scenarios earlier haven't changed. So actually, let me zoom out to the 4-hour. Or actually the 1 hour first and then the 4 hour. So on the 1 hour here, this is from this morning. So probabilities at the moment higher to see the high taken as a bare minimum continue ranging sideways. Yeah, that's basically it. A resistance 84, support 77. Not really looking at the moment for any significant breakouts, unless you would hit 84 point or 87.4, and if you do, 93K is next. Right, but at the moment, it discounts better. I don't know, it's a bit of a WXY-ish structure. And if we get surprised before the weekend, then it's a happy surprise. I'll happily be surprised with price moving up. But yeah, so this at the moment, probability is higher to take this high. Low probability scenario at the moment is this bigger WXY on the higher time frame. Reason for this is, so first of all, of course, there was a lot of talk about triangles here. And yeah, you can maybe get one in. I'm never too big of a fan of the triangles, but you can finish X there or X there. That's fine. It's just that your wave 1 is a 3-wave structure, and therefore you need a diagonal in A. Now this is then your 2. The issue now, however, is that if you're looking for a 3 down, you want a WXY double zigzag, but your wave X went very high now. Very, very high. Which reduces probabilities because you now touched the 0.7 Fibonacci taken from, not that one. Oh, it is that one. Taken from the end of your wave 2 to this low. And your wave 3 has to be a zigzag family structure because your wave 1 is. All right? Doesn't matter if you start counting here or you start counting here. It's zero difference. So this reduces its probabilities for a WX and then such a big Y to the downside. So therefore, the probabilities for the whole thing are lower at the moment. Yeah, the 0.7 playing a role here. And of course, on the other hand, we don't have the diagonal. Validation 87.4, if you do push, but let's take it step by step. Take it step by step. So yeah, locally, quick summary. ABC, W, X, A, B, C, Y, right? Possibly moving back here. This is also a support resistance area, as you can see. I think I actually have it on my chart. That one is just below. Bit of an SR area. So that's one I look for. Other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deeper correction, another move up. And alternatively, we have the flat. W, X, A, B, C. That's alternative though. So we'll see. And we are at resistance here. We are at a bit of resistance. We are not at support. Now, 3-minute time frame. I'm not hanging out on the 3 minute too often, but there's of course the potential here to count a 5 waver. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for a 3-wave correction. Take the low again, which could give that B to the downside. We are at resistance. A little bit of news. Volatility might not yet be finished. Let me at least put this on the chart, I suppose. There we go. Make this white. And then take it from there. Do we have levels? We hit the resistance to the upside. This is just an SR, nothing special. But other than it just being an SR, I don't have any horizontal level there, to be honest. So that's it. That's it with the analysis, I suppose, though. The triangle nuts, yeah. John, some things never change, hey? Some things never change, yeah. Are we gonna do? Sorry, it's actually rude to talk when you have carrot in your mouth. Are we gonna do an ASMR stream? Okay. I'm happy I got a button to turn the microphone off when I'm snacking. Okay. Hi from Portugal. Daniel, welcome. Good to have you here. From Portugal. Almost neighbors. Can you speak French? Je parlais un petit peu. Je comprends bien, mais parler est plus difficile. So that's very English. So yeah. J'apprendre français. J'apprendre français, mais yeah. Je comprends bien. Mais parler est difficile. So. Okay, I see, Emmanuel. Yeah, make sure to deposit and then also just fill in the form. If you need the form, let me know. I can send you somewhere. No, here you are, Maureen. You can see yourself on stream as well. We found a solution. Hudson Hall, welcome. Mool, what's up? Johnny, I bet the most in-depth tariff analysis is to come. Can't wait. Yeah, not on this channel, probably. Yeah, not really into all the fundamental stuff, but hey, if it provides volatility, yeah, I'm happy. Your analysis are like classical music. Francisco Coutinho, how you doing? Welcome back. Classical music. For some, that will be very nice to listen to. For others, not. So let's hope most people enjoy it. Thanks, Francisco. A WXY can occur in a leading diagonal. Absolutely. You can even have a... What's that? Why is there an alarm going off? I don't even know on what chart. You can have a simple double or triple zigzag in a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 of a leading and ending diagonal, as long as all the waves are 3 then. So a leading diagonal can be 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, but also all the waves can be zigzag family structures. Yeah. Theoretically, how do you identify the gaps like yesterday? It's just in between the ranges. So you can see here, right? You have the highs, you basically have a range, price gaps, and then this is where you range again. Overlap, 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 overlap. And then poof, right? So we basically we have a candle that shows a clear breakout of the structure. So here we move down, or actually sideways, and then you go down, and this is where it goes sideways again. So it creates a bit of a gap. I know you have fair value gaps and all the different gaps, but you know what I mean. So here you then go. So you move down, you go sideways again, very messy, right? And then poof, and this is then once again where you create like a gap. So that's what it provides clarity. It provides clarity. So you can see we have a move up, move down, then we gap, and then we go sideways. And then at the end, we basically create a bit of a gap again, which leads me to think the potential of a WXY is there, which I have on my chart. So a double zigzag. We can count a 5-wave move down here, 3-wave up, another move down. Possibly that's B, but we'll see. We'll see. My area of interest mainly is above here. Oh yeah, yeah. That's basically the area of interest. Mm-hmm. Just like John says. What's up, Alpha Vision? Welcome. Yeah, the WXY has to be a double zigzag, though, not a sideways WXY. I will be here until summer. After that, you won't see me anymore. What's happening in your life, Mr. Brownbug? Good to have you here. Thanks for popping in, man. How's the business going? What do you think it will happen to Ondo at this level? I analyzed Ondo, I think yesterday in the stream, though. From Portugal as well. Oh, look at you, 2 people now. Trop bien, si, tu parlais bien français. No. It's also just daring to speak, I suppose. I'm not good enough to really be comfortable speaking French casually. Any chance of an analysis of the gold and silver charts in the near future? I think gold, I think gold never really changed compared to what I did 10 months ago. But we'll probably have a look at a couple of charts later in the stream because we already did a bit of Bitcoin analysis. Nothing too much like analysis-wise to talk about. It's just there's of course some news. We might get some volatility because of it, and yeah. Then eventually we call to scene. So it's a lot of chatting and Q&A now, answering questions if there are, of course, certain questions. Happy to explain and do stuff on the chart. Yeah, that's what I'm there for. Good morning. Oh wait, Odin. What's up, Odin? Good to have you here. Sneak peek indeed. It's gonna be private content. What's the higher time frame? Oh, that makes me think. Someone replied to someone replied to a video earlier today, and I was so surprised to see that comment because the video was a video of 2023, and it was a high time frame Elliott wave analysis. Let me start with the probabilities. Let me show you this. So someone commented on this video and was like, and the comment was pretty accurate. So I was like, wait, how did you find a video that was posted in 2023? Now the probabilities was bullish, bullish. And the target area, let me go to the bullish scenario. So the target area, the 618 and the 786 is 100K to 177, 180K. And time-wise, the target for reaching this area, let's see if I can find it. Come on. Oh, there we go. And then time-wise, the target area, there's no sound, but the target area was, the 1-to-1 was October 2025. The 786 is March 2025. And the 618 September 2024. I only put the 618 on the chart. You can listen to the video, but the 618 is there because we went from the 1.382 to a 1-to-1. You can see the FIB times on my chart, the yellow line, right? Can you see it? Yellow 1.382. So yellow was a little longer than red in time. This is the monthly chart. Then green, this bull market here, right? 2020, 2021. Green was the same size as yellow. So in other words, we go from the 1.382 to the 1, and that is why my 1 was the maximum target, and I added the 786 and the 618. So it was pretty cool that someone actually took time to go that far back in the day and be like, yo, that's pretty accurate, man. And now here we are at the target area of this video, which is pretty cool. So yeah, probabilities on the chart. Yeah, that's pretty neat. And that is, of course, another 1-2. So you would then look at the move from 15K to all-time high, and that is your wave 1, and then you get another wave 2, and you look for continuation afterwards. I haven't actually updated the high time frame Elliott wave analysis for a couple of months, and that's mainly because we keep an eye on the retracement so far. And on a weekly, we had, of course, this one. 1 second here. No. The higher probability one till proven otherwise, as always said in the older videos, was this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if this is 5 or we create a higher 5, no problem. The goal, of course, of Elliott waves in this case is directional bias, knowing that in this target area for 5, a reversal has potential. And especially after 4, couple of 1-2s, get your gap mark, right, mark, gap, right? And then you start ranging again. Those are your 4-5s. This is never a buying area, period, right? You have your 1-2s, you create 4-5s. This is exit. You're potentially in a 5 on the weekly, or I should say, you're working on 4-5s on a daily inside a potential wave 5 of a weekly impulsive structure, right? So yeah, I mean, it's very normal. We got to move to the downside. We were looking for either all-time high or one more high and then move down. But in both cases, you're looking for a retracement to come, which was the probabilities. Now, if this is, correct or not correct at the moment, the move down here counts a bit corrective. We do have a diagonal, right, locally. Where's my... There we go. We do have a 4-hour diagonal. Now that would be, of course, the potential for something bearish. You need a 5, then a 3, and then a 5, right? So yeah, at least we have something that can lead to much lower prices later. But we take it step by step, no? So yeah, and that's that was the weekly, and then on of course the higher time frame, which was the video from 2023, looking to eventually top out between 100 and 180, which of course is a big area. But then as information comes in on the weekly, right? We were here when I recorded that video, and then you get more info. And you'd be like, ooh, looks like a 5 waiver. And then you can be more and more accurate. And then on the daily, right? So yeah, it's not bad. Is that the bull market high? Are we in a bear market now? I never really value or put a lot of value into the words bull or bear market. It doesn't change a thing. The chart is still there. You can make money both ways. Doesn't matter if it's bull or bear market. What matters the most is that you know your probabilities and your trading plan, and you'll happily move up and down or trade up and down. I'm not yet feeling a bear market so far. If you want to hear the word and what I think about it. So, but yeah, we take it step by step. So far, this move down, we can count a diagonal. It looks a little bit, of course, a little bit stretched in some cases. 1 is very big, 2 short in time, but it makes up the by its height, right? 5 quite a bit longer than 3, but still, it works. You have 3 lows, right? And you move down, and then you start to create a bit of a shape like this, no? So it becomes also more interesting to look for a bounce now. This being a low or another low doesn't really matter. It's more like from a swing trader's perspective, it's more interesting to look for price creating a movement back towards the upside, right? Just like over here, you should know once you create your 1-2s, once you gap here in your 3 and you start working on 4-5s, that's exit area. and that is entry for short area. Yeah, you're at all-time highs, but Elliott Waves doesn't care about your all-time highs, doesn't care about price discovery, right? You can read Elliott Waves perfectly fine in price discovery, doesn't matter. So that's your short area. Once you get out of this push, right, you have your 1-2s, 1 2 1 2 1 2. So you're just waiting 4 5 4 5 4 5. You're counting the fours. Once you get close to the last or second last four, that's where things start interesting to at least consider moving the opposite direction. And now, as we are moving so far to the downside, we basically get the opposite, right? So of course, this is not in this case, an impulse, which is like a very clear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But we are looking to end corrective structures as well, right? WXY is one of the scenarios people have, and then look for a bounce. After WXY, you look for all-time high, by the way. You have the diagonal, which would lead to a bounce, right? You have people counting WXY XZs, where you're looking for a Z, either finish or one more move down in Z, and then a bounce. So you're looking basically at ending structures, and the dollar value might sound very big, like this low is made at 75. Yeah, we can go to 68, sure, 62, whatever. Doesn't really matter in the context of the percentage move to the upside. Percentage moves up are higher than moves down. Huh? So, yeah. So now that we had such a move down, it becomes more and more and more interesting to look for potential swings going the opposite direction, right? Same here. Once you move sideways, it's interesting to move for swings the other direction. And you go against price discovery, etc. But, you know, Elliott, the power of Elliott Waves doesn't care about price discovery and all that stuff. Just buying and selling. So, one second, let me scroll through here. Although it jumped to 90 cents, will be listed in an hour. I see. I'm not a financial advisor for entries, so what I always recommend is have your plan, have your strategy. And there's 2 videos on my channel which arguably are most important for this, which is educational content. That's the LINKTREE, which you can find in the description. These 2. You got to watch this one. I will never give any financial advice. Should you buy? Should you sell? Should you long? Should you short? Should you stay on the side? I have my plan, and that's it. Everyone does what they have to do. If you are someone that, of course, and that's not necessarily PT, but for other people, if you're someone that tries to look for signals online, or you want to buy into someone's signals and that sort of stuff, I probably have to recommend you to just leave the industry alone, save your money, and just go for dinner, spend it on your wife, girlfriend, instead of wasting it on such people. I do not support that practice at all. So we are not financial advisors. We do what we do. I also think trading should be private, but that's my opinion. It's my money, my account, my trading. People love to show everything public. It's, it gets the clicks, but that's not my audience. So we are more professional and educational. But that being said, that is nothing against PT, by the way, but it makes me think about people that sometimes pop in. And that's the first thing they ask is like, oh, do I go long? Do I go short? Do you sell signals? Do you have signal service? Do you give signals in diamond? Okay, so yesterday on Ondo, PT, you kind of know what we were looking for, right? I was talking about the curvature of the move and the potential to look for a bit of a bounce, right, after the structure here. So nothing changed. It's too, there's no difference in the analysis. So, of course, I analyzed the higher time frame, but yeah. This is now at least a 3-wave structure, right? So now you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bullish number. You do have overlap here. So 2 things, W, X, Y, potential. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, potential. 3-wave structure, flat, another move up, W, X, Y. W, X, Y. So in other words, you're either move up or range at the moment. But I don't like to go into the lower time frames on the alts usually. So we can see the structure, we can see the curvature as well. And the analysis of yesterday is, you're starting to be in areas. We hit the point of control of this range. You start to move into areas where looking for a bounce is interesting. It's same as Bitcoin, honestly. What I said on the higher time frames on Bitcoin, it's because of the drawdown and how we count things, right? With the corrective structures and both potential diagonals, it becomes more and more interesting to look at ending structures, which means swing from a swing position. Longs are more interesting than shorts. Day trading, yeah, I mean you can short, which we did, right? You can long as well. So it doesn't matter locally. You can scalpers, they do a day in, day out, the whole day. Yeah. Can you share the link of that video? Yes. Sorry for I'm behind on chat. There you go, Sibel. The latest video you've done for a weekly, monthly time frame. It's on the homepage of my channel, and then in the high time frame Elliott Wave playlist. Well, it's on the homepage. First time on your channel. Hashan, welcome. Hashan Max, welcome to the channel, eh? Good to have you here. Have you tried using CVD directly in TradingView? Yes, but at the moment there is no CVD indicator that I enjoy using because it's just not accurate enough. So CVD on AGGR is a lot better. It's calculated in a different way. I don't know. Maybe there's a way that I can develop together with, of course, someone that can develop, but I work with someone. So maybe we can develop something for TradingView that in a way is closer to what AGGR provides and what AGGR CVD signals give versus TradingView. But it will take some effort. So yeah. I use AGGR. Yeah, that's the only platform I really trust with CVD. Can you share with us where we can read more about FIB time? Now that's a good question, which unfortunately I don't have an answer to, because FIB time is something that I taught myself. However, it is related to ratio analysis, and ratio analysis is a chapter in the book, Elliott Wave Principle. Now, it is not that I used the book to find FIB time and talk about FIB time, because that's pure practice. They don't talk about FIB time. They only talk about waves should be waves should have a ratio with one another, right? Like if you're talking about the same Elliott wave degree, then generally the structures are quite similar in time, and they don't really go a lot deeper than that. And that's, I use FIB time to check if structures are related in one way or another, and just by having years of experience with the tool and counting the waves with that tool, I know how to provide probabilities for it. So in this book, which by the way is, again, it's, if you want to check this one out, it's Elliott Wave Principle. It's on Amazon, or you go to Linktree and then click here, Elliott Wave Principle. Our book will come soon, which will have all the information. So if you didn't check the banner, like on my channel, we are having the compendium, which is coming in the middle of this year. It should be. And this is a book which is, I mean, it has so much more information than anything I have seen, and it sounds bollocks, but you'll see when it's online. It has a bit of background on Elliott waves, but it's a compendium, right? It's not a full-fledged book with lots of text. So it's a compendium. It has Elliott wave background, all the Fibonacci's. Fibonacci time is highlighted. The 886 is highlighted with all the information that you need about it. Every structure has its own page. I can give you a sneak peek. Every structure has its own page as well in full detail. And then we also have a probabilities table with what is common, what is rare, what's uncommon, how do you channel with Elliott waves, and la-di-la-di-la. So if we, I should stop with the la-di-la-di-la actually. So if we scroll down, if I scroll down, I suppose, then I go to this page here. Then, there you go. That's an example. And every structure has a similar page. Full detail, right? Complete detail on the structure, the count, subwaves, the mode as we call it here, subwave structures, volume, rules, guidelines, positioning, Fibonacci time, Fibonacci ratios. This is specific to this page, wave 5 target area, but other pages have different stuff here. So we will cover everything. And the moment you're looking at an impulse and you're like, wait, what was the time again? Wait, what was the common target again? Wait, what was the volume again? Oh, what are the subwave structures of a wave 2 again? You just go to this page and tada, you got it, right? And we made such a page for every structure, plus the probabilities table, Fibonacci, 886 page, more, and more. So we're working on it very hard. It's taking us a little bit of time, but it's coming. And that book will highlight Fib time. Plus, it has a teaching section on how to use Fib time with the clicks and stuff as well. So to my knowledge, that will be the first book that combines Elliott waves with Fib time specifically. How open are you to the nice looking impulse on weekly chart that doesn't divide well on the lower time frame? Well, I don't really have it looks like a good 5-wave structure. I don't really have problems with the lower time frame. Only on the daily, the beginning can be counted as either a double 1-2 or a single 1-2 if my chart wants to load. The problem with the double 1-2 though is the second 2 is so much longer than the first one. Hello, Tradingview. Okay, let me refresh here. Oh, wait. Tradingview, how you doing? Ta-da. Daily time frame, and then we have this section, right? So I have seen counts being a 1-2, 1-2. Some even argue a triple 1-2, but on Bybit this had a wick, so I don't really look at a triple. So a double would be as far as I would like to go. Yeah. 1-2, you have your 3-4-5. 1-2, 1-2, 3-4-5, 4-5. Bearish would be a, yeah. You need a WXY now, really. Can't really get an ABC in here anymore. Alternatively, of course, this can be your wave 4 of this wave 2 if you want to count a double 1-2. 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Very short and deep, very long and shallow, very long and shallow. This was actually sideways as well, or deep, if it's only that structure, but yeah. I think what's more important now and what's a lot more interesting is this, because in the end, what you work on here will decide if you're going to go to much lower prices or all-time highs. The weekly structure, this one here, is nice. 5-wave structure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it gives directional bias, right? So looking for a 5 on the week, couple 1-2s, couple 4-5s, look for price to turn around. We got to turn around. Doesn't really matter if over 2 years' time, if this is the correct count. At that moment in time, it was the highest probability that we were looking for, and it created a nice moment to exit longs and look for price to move towards the downside, which is most important. Of course, as Elliott wave analysts will know, Elliott waves, the waves, they're always moving. Things always change. Hindsight is an easy thing. 12 months? Yo, I'm early this time. Matchy HK, how you doing? Good to have you here. Member for 12 months. Blue badge, yo. Blue badge. Welcome, Matchy HK. Usually when Matchy joins, it's the end of the stream. No, just God. Yo, thanks for supporting for 12 months, man. That's incredible. Another blue badge. Move to the upside will probably be a 3-wave move high time frame. Yeah, potential for a B in a flat. Kurtish, yeah. The previous range is, of course, an important area of support. So when you top out after a potential 5-waver, the previous ranges on any time frame provide important support. Yeah. Carl, pleasure, Sibel. The answer is yes, Carl. I found too that I think Leviathan volume suite on novelty trades. Okay. Did you tell Robert Peep about Fib time? We had a conversation about Elliott waves and Fibonacci, the 886, and Fib time in a way then is similar to ratio analysis, but he likes the use of something technical. So not just looking, but having the lines, but still it's the same thing really. Yeah, I just use Fib time instead of ratio analysis as it's written in the book. Do you have more sources to learn Elliott waves? Soon our own source, but at the moment you have to do with what I have here. LINKTREE the link is in the description, and then it's here. A website, which is not our own, but I can recommend it. I used it myself. The playlist on my YouTube channel, the book, and then the gold membership to shorten the learning curve. Edgara's welcome. Anyone that has not read the principle 7 times, that's step 1 in 6 steps. We checked AVAX yesterday. What's up, OG? Or did we not? Or 2 days ago? Yeah, I mean, Jeroen, you designed the wave, so you better be an expert after designing everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into low time frame counting. I care. Look, it's the same thing. I don't really care too much about like a 1 minute, 50 minute, 1 hour, like that sort of stuff. You know, like on the alts. Maybe one day if I have more time to put into a chart, but yeah, a couple of 1-2s creates the gap, couple of 4-5s, look for price to bounce. That's the analysis. And then one needs to find an entry, of course. I mean, no financial advice for the bounce, by the way, but got to find an entry that then matches with the Elliott wave thought, of course. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, this is a range that, I mean, do we have a similar range? You could still, this is a 3-wave structure, took out the low. This might become a flat ABC, come back down, touch support at 13 and then up. Yeah, that's also a possibility. You create a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possibly, oh no, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. I don't like this as a whole 4 and 5. This looks like this now. So it up 3, down 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Maybe take the high, create C, finito, go back down 13, 12, and then go back up. But look, the thing is, this is the detailed stuff, right? Overall, what is a lot more interesting on the chart is seeing the grind here, seeing the sharp move that gaps, and then seeing this. And that is what gives me interesting to look for moves up. And then we'll see how far that move goes. Then we need to follow up as the waves start to form. Generally, however, if you are looking for like an impulsive move or like 535 structures, I don't really like to end with a wick. It's generally, in my opinion, nicer if you get right 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and 5 is actually candles above the 3. Same here, for example, you create your range, you move up, you close more than enough candles above the high instead of just a wick. A wick feels a bit like a B or an X. It doesn't really feel like a 5. So that's something I do keep in mind with that particular low. If you like swing the previous low, but yeah, I suppose that kind of like does the thing. How much is it gonna be? Jeroen recently did a bit of research about compendiums in other markets, and I think it should be something between 60 and 120. It's a very wide range, but we need a bit more deep dive into where ours compares with others, and in the financial industry as well. Now, there's going to be a Kindle version, which will be cheaper than the paperback version. Okay, there will be a paper version as well, but first the Kindle. So the Kindle one, I don't know. We have to check what compendiums are in Kindle. I'm talking about the paper version here. I can't say anything yet about the pricing of a Kindle version, but of course, generally Kindles are cheaper than the paper. The paper one should be between the 60 and 100, 60, 120 somewhere. We got to figure that one out with some more research, and then the Kindle version will be cheaper than that. So all charts are not loading on TradingView. Yeah, I don't know, man. I got a similar problem. I had to refresh my my browser. So yeah, you know what I have to think about? Oh, from the top, John. Yeah, I am Dutch. I had to think about this now. You know what I wanted to say? And I know John is in chat. I wanted to say here, like, man, triangles? I don't like triangles. And then I'm like, oh, wait, John is here. He always says I'm the triangle Nazi. This guy. John, how are you doing with work, with trading? Are you swing trading? Like, what are you up to? Write me a DM on Discord. I'll reply after the stream. Or after the stream, I have a meeting with Jeroen, and then after that. I agree with maybe a Band-Aid. It has been a leggy time. 3. Yeah, there's definitely potential for a triangle. Right, so A, B. Potentially a flat, of course, here. But this then has to be C. You end on high volume. This then has to... This is probably more like an A, B, C. So down, sideways, down. We never got a 4 and a 5. So you can't really get a nice A, B, C, and that would be a running flat. So A, B, C, D, E. Not take the high, triangle, then take the high, or the low, low, and then you take the highs afterwards. So, of zit je in andere... Ik woon in... je bent in Zuid-Frankrijk, ik ben waarschijnlijk... Angoulême, weet wel een leuk cafeetje. Yo, hit me up, mister, if you're here. Probably quite a few of the Dutchies here will visit the Côte d'Azur during summer, like mister. I'm in Nice. That's where I live. I don't know where Angoulême is, to be honest. But, I mean, If it's somewhere around the coast, eastern side, then it shouldn't be far away. So yeah, but the question was about a triangle, and yeah, there's definitely the potential of a triangle there as a wave 4 in that case. Used to live in Eindhoven for a few years. Oh, do you speak Dutch as well, BTC Fox? Because it's a difficult language, eh? It's a difficult language. Happy Friday, team. Jeremy, how you doing? Still lurking, my brother. Haven't been able to catch your stream live as my schedule changed, but always watching. Cheers, Jeremy. I appreciate it, man. And now finding the time to quickly pop in and say hi. Thanks, dude. Hopefully you're good. Jeremy Vasquez. It always made me think of the series. Actually, what was the series with the airplane again? With the cop that was Vasquez? You remember the series with the cop with the airplane that we watched? Yes, Manifest. So, Manifest. In Manifest, there is a detective, and his name is, or his surname is Vasquez. I think you write it slightly different, but every time Jeremy's here, I think about that guy. From the top. At the moment, John, sorry, I thought we were talking about the weekly, so I thought you thought it, we're talking about the weekly. But as a 5 waiver, of course, the only way we could even try to count it as a 5 waiver would be a diagonal. But yeah, I mean, it looks corrective, or it's very, very 3 wavy. 3, 3, 3, messy, 3. It's just it can work in a diagonal with all the 3s. It can work in a WXY, WXY, XZ. It is a very corrective structure. The most bearish scenario would be a multi 1-2, but not high probabilities. So that's why I pretty much never covered it in any of my content. So yeah, I would agree with with what you said earlier. How do you count the latest move down from 109? Either, I mean, actually, we were kind of talking about it. Is it this one? No, that's local. We have the diagonal, right? You can still put a 5 later if this becomes a WXY, but would be nicer if you would finish it there, but then you would have WX and then a Y to finish a 5. So, I mean, that's an idea. I'd like to keep an eye on local. Then you have the WXY, which I don't know. The moment people started talking here about a triangle, I was like, yeah, I don't know. And now we have this move down as a 3-wave structure in a 1. That's your 2. Locally priced retrace super high to get a double zigzag in a 3, which it means lower probabilities for a 3 now here, which means lower probabilities that's your 2, lower probabilities for diagonal in A, in Y, which lowers the whole thing in probabilities. So therefore you have to consider WX, Y, W a flat, right? A, B, C in X, then get Y, right? So the diagonal is not necessarily, boom, we're going to look for upside 1 or A. It depends on the move to the downside, no? If you take out this high, you form a diagonal locally. This is very small on your screens, by the way. I realized that. Let me zoom in on some of your screens. So if this turns into a diagonal, you get your 5. The move down is what matters most. Impulsive or corrective? Impulsive, take the lows, likely going to get like a bigger structure again. Corrective, take this high, 93K. So yeah, but the biggest thing that Elliott Waves gives you now at this moment is that the probabilities are higher. You are starting to count ending structures. The only structure that could really go very deep would be a W, right? I don't. So first of all, I'm not a big fan of this particular one. But if you would count this somehow as a flat ABC and then an X and then get another ABC down, that would be the one that goes deepest. But then you need the diagonal here, which then is ending. It's a running flat, which is the lowest probability flat. Yeah, I know, but yeah, that would be the deepest structure. But still, you're still working on a wave Y, which is the final part of a corrective structure. You also have people counting WXY XZs here, which also leaves you with a Z potentially still, or finished. So it's all like looking to either one more structure or finish structures. Yeah, it becomes a lot more interesting to look for upside instead of and then no problem if price moves to 68, 62, perfect, no problem at all. But you're from a percentage perspective and swing trading perspective, you're looking at a bit of a move and not necessarily a bounce from the current low and up we go, and maybe we do, but that's why we're checking the chart. So it's a lot more interesting to look for up from a swing perspective. So even if it's still, even if you take out the double top, I mean, the double top here is super attractive, of course. To take out these lows, it's like begging to be taken, but I mean, maybe we don't. We just move up and ta-da. But that is why we have our Elliott wave scenarios and provide updates every day. We have scenarios that take the low. And it's at the moment still likely that you take out the low, even if you correct further up, but step by step. Let me put my boxes on again. I want to keep track of... No, we took out that low as well. Signed copies for the mods with the paperback. Hell yeah. Send them. Why send them? If I'm in South Africa, should just hand them over. The Elliott Wave God Book. Cheers, man. Hopefully, you'll make sure to whatever, leave a review somewhere when it's published. Carrot. Welcome, Jay. Tradingview also has a trading event now. It's called Pepper. What was it? Pepper something. Poitiers. Oh, that's very far away. I'm in the south. Like south of France. Poitiers is all the way in the middle. So there's, yeah. I'm not close there. Oui, je parle français aussi, mais je dois améliorer. Forgive me not doing the accents. I never do them as well, even when I write on paper. Manifest, indeed. Cardano stood well. The G is pronounced like the first G of garage. Garage. Angoulême, garage. Angoulême. French lessons during live stream. In case of the diagonal, could it be A for an expanding flat in Y? No, because a diagonal is a 5-wave structure, and wave A of a flat needs to be a 3-wave structure. Good morning, Legendario. Apologies, I have just joined. Is the bias P up or down for 1 or 4 hour? Welcome, Sutan. At the moment, the probabilities remain higher to, at a later stage, take out the 83 high there. Couple of scenarios that we'll do. We have a double zigzag, which would be a wave 5 of a diagonal, right? And then look for a retracement, and then the retracement will be the weekend and probably more. Did you have any YouTube social What do you mean? Do you mean in analytics, John? That correlated with Elliott wave personality of the top. Ooh, that would be interesting. I should have a look. I should have a look at my data. Not something that comes to mind. I would need to check it. What's up, Legendary? Could you count wave 1 at the low of February? Wave 1 at the low? You mean this one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it that one? The last plan in big WXY is the same plan as... Yeah, the problem is with the WXY that everyone looks at it. And I don't like to be in the same boat. It's not that I don't mind having similar analysis to others, but so many people have been telling me as well, like, yo, I'm seeing that one. And it immediately, I get turned off from such a scenario when it's like, yo, everyone has it. Right? And I'm like, okay, what can price do different? What can price do to not get that scenario, right? So, hey, if we have to, I would even prefer a running flat with an ending diagonal and a Y down compared to the ones that have a triangle here and look for A, B, C with a diagonal in A. And yeah, I know I have it on my chart, but I also have other thoughts. I've actually shared the WXY once before. I've shared the diagonal, look for a bounce, reject at 93, 97, and then down, new lows. Also very interesting. Arguably, from a psychology point of view, the most interesting one, really. Because you fake people in a continuation of the bull market. This is just down. Eventually, people get bored. You know what I mean? They're like, not buying, not selling, just waiting, no action. But if you would be able to create a move up, go into 93, 97 with a solid amount of volatility, especially if you can create a bit of a good wave C to the upside, right? And then get it high, maybe even higher, right? Where's the point of control of this range? Let's have a look. Must be somewhere around 100, no? Tradingview. Please. Short intermezzo while Tradingview is taking its sweet ass time. Oh, there we are. 96.7. Value area high, 101.6. Interesting. Because the thing is, you then bait people into, oh, is the low in? Is this it? Are we going? I would even like to go above the golden pocket. Everyone pulls the golden pocket on their chart and be like, oh, this is such an important area. But then you move above the golden pocket. Wait, I'm going to show you an example because this happened before. It's not just something that I think about without having any experience. This happened before, after the 65K top. So, that one. And remove this. Instead of rejecting perfectly at the golden pocket, right? You reject, you move above the golden pocket, and then you go back, right? Everyone knows about the golden pocket. Now let me show you let me show you where this happened. It happened here. We take the golden pocket. Ta-da! Memory serves well. Definitely interesting. Very, very interesting. So fast move down, right? Get a corrective move up, move above the golden pocket, and then continue. But the interesting thing is that here people are still like beep of what? I have no idea. Anyway, here people are like maybe just a retracement, and then boom! Oh, look how quick back up we go. You know, golden pocket. Oh, even a golden pocket can't hold us. So it's just interesting from a psychology point of view. There's not really like, I mean, there's a bit of Elliott waves involved, of course, but how nice would it be to move up, fake people out, grab the liquidity, everyone looking for continuation bull market, go back down, everyone depressive, hit the stops, people that bought over here, all losing positions. They're like, oh, I'm so done. You take out this low, bear market starts, oh, down we go, oh, 40K, oh no, and then up we go. We had the exact, wait, for the people that were here, we did this. It played out nicely in the 73K range. Remember when price was moving down here and we were thinking about the ABC from a psychology point of view, where you can go back to the content of, I guess it should be the end of April. You can check the videos on the channel where we had a scenario which was, okay, we have our wave A, we look for a B, fake people out, go as high as possible, and then go back down and take out the lows. Oh, it was nice. We actually did it twice. I mean, we did it over here, and then, of course, we had the big one. But, I mean, it's interesting to think about psychology, right? It's fun to consider such scenarios. So, yeah, not bad. Okay, locally, we took out this low. Bit of a move. No, let's see then. That can be your, this can be your wave C, though. Or are we going to get a flat? Flat in B and then wave C? I do look for price to take out the high, though. If it's C of Y of 5. 0.5 retracement. It's not bad for a B. Let's put an alarm at the high. Add alert. It might still turn in a flat, get a B flat, and then a C down, and then a C up. Well, who knows? Yo, Mark. What's up, Mark? How you doing? Welcome. No targets yet. Did you have any YouTube? Yeah, the social metrics. Do we think the weekend ends in taking the low in the retrace? If the weekend takes the low, I would expect the low to be taken after again. Also, flavor the comments. When was the all-time high made? When was the all-time high? Oops. I mean, now that I'm on my window here. 20th of Jan, 16th of December. Okay, 20th of January, 16th of December. I'm just checking my viewer stuff. Okay, 22nd of December. let's see. I mean, the viewership was pretty similar. 3K, 2K, 2K. That's in between 3 and 4, or in between 2 and 4, 2 and 3. So 3.5, 2.5, 2.2, 2.5, 2.7, 2.3, 2.3, etc. It's very stable though. Yo, is the Bitcoin drop about to finish? Posted on the 2nd of Feb, 4K. Ah, yeah. That video was made somewhere here because we moved down so far looking for a bounce. So I explained the areas of support that I had. And oh yeah, we moved back up. Probably, I mean, the only reason that's viewed is because of the sharp move down. So 20th of Jan was the all-time high. Nothing that really stands out, to be honest. And as price was moving up, people love the title, Why the Bitcoin Dump is Ending, Why the Bitcoin Dump is About to Halt. 3.4K, 2.8, couple of 2s, 2.9. I mean, it's... When price was moving up, 10, 11, 12th of December, those were 1.7, 1.5, so a little bit lower. Also less subscribers, of course, so yeah. Yeah, and now I'm messing around, of course, with the thumbnails again. Just checking, if we want to help more people experience the power of Elliott waves, we gotta find a way to help them find the video and click on the thumbnail. As marketish as it sounds, it's how YouTube works, I suppose. I do have the 0.7. Yeah, true, Sibel. Usually the Sundays. The Saturdays are generally very ranging. And then on Sunday, you get a move. Recently. What's up, BBL? How you doing? Wow, it's been a while since you were here during a live stream. Good to have you here, man. Welcome. Welcome. I love the new edition info. No tariffs yet. Mark with the juice in chat. He knows. Could we now be in an A wave of the bear market? Well, if this is an A wave, we would need to call it or count the diagonal, right? And then you would look for a B up and a C down. I mean, is the C going to... So yeah, the question is like, when is it considered a bear market? Is there a certain time of downwards movement that people talk about a bear market? Is it a percentage drop? So I mean, I can imagine. I don't know what's going on online in the world of crypto Twitter, but probably some people will call this a bear market because we moved down 35% from all-time high. And I'm pretty sure there are some lads out there and lasses that say, oh yeah, we're in a bear market. Yo, see you later, John. But yeah, are we in a bull market? Are we in a bear market? I try not to put too much value into the name. So if we get a wave C down, an impulsive structure, we will go short and we will make money in the bear market. Yeah, sometimes the night, Friday to Saturday, can be volatile. I experience Saturday generally as quite calm. Well, quite calm, and then Sunday some moves. Mark. Well, At least we're getting there. We almost took the high. It was about time. Please just do it during the stream as well. Not reverse to 77. Lol. I don't mind a flat A, B, C, and then back up later. New York opened. So that is what happened. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, this does count. Oh, no, wait. We would need a discount. No, we're not looking for a flat here because you have a flat in a B of a bigger flat. So a flat doesn't make sense. Would be nice if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no? But this is 5-minute stuff. We're literally at resistance, everyone. We are not at support. This is no financial advice, okay? If you have your plan, you do you, but no bueno for the buys. We now approach my area of interest. Where is it? Here we go. That's my area of interest, and it's a big red box. Here's the big green box. Even though I longed here as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like I only trade in these areas. But area of interest. Touch resistance. Bearish CVD stacking. 5-wave move down. Sideways. Short. I never really sniped the highs or the lows. Yesterday was a nice day. Nice day. We had the support here, right? Explained the hows and the whats. Explained why I wouldn't go short at the little resistance we had here on the 3-minute. Was a good decision. And I went to bed, so I closed the short as explained. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5. Oh. W. So far, it's just a wick. If we still want to get a bigger B, I would need to move X there, C there, W there. Maybe, and then A even up there. But yeah, anyway. It doesn't change the probabilities, what we're looking for. Do you think the 4th is done? What do you mean, Jack Place, with the 4th? Could you please check the monthly chart? If 618 invalidates wave 4, then the 3rd low cannot be... yeah, but 4th wave on what time frame, Jack? Which 4th wave? So on the are you talking local price action or a higher time frame, like a weekly, daily? Local, and then you talk like 3-minute, 5-minute, or if you're talking about this time frame here, then preferably there's no wave 4. Wave 4 usually is longer than your 2. We can see a few candles here with a couple of wicks, so arguably that is a range, but preferably this would be a 4 and 5, but this is 1-minute stuff. We are at resistance. I think that's the most important message there, if you talk about the 1 minute at least, right? So, yeah. And then with the monthly chart, November 2022, I'll go to the weekly. Monthly for me it's too high. I missed the detail. We're gonna miss the detail if we go too high. November 2022, this one. December, but it's not a 618 touch. Make sure you analyze this on a log chart, not on the linear chart. What does it show on linear? Yeah, I thought so. Log chart. The reason you analyze this on a logarithmic chart, you can put these buttons. You right click, you go to settings in the chart, you can add these buttons here. L for logarithmic, A is just auto, so you go back. But I can turn log on or off here. Very easy. But the moment price, in an uptrend at least, has moved like 100% or more, right? You wanna slowly start moving into analyzing on a logarithmic chart. So if you analyze a piece of the chart that has significantly moved, you go to log, and this is a 1800% move. And then the linear chart doesn't really provide you with a good chart to analyze from an Elliott wave point of view. You can also see the difference in how the chart looks, how clear the logarithmic chart is versus the linear chart. It feels very condensed in a way, right? So yeah, make sure you analyze the log, and then you'll see it's a 0.5 touch there. Thanks, Mark. So I'll be online for a little bit. Holy moly, a little bit longer here. Just checking if we are gonna take the high, the yes or the no. And yeah, if there's any questions about the chart or Elliott waves, let me know. I'm at your service. Take it easy on me. And what we are doing is just keeping an eye on the chart. The analysis, like Bitcoin analysis, was done early at the start, like minute 7 or minute 8. You will find me starting the analysis. Oh, I forgot about the challenge time. we can do an exercise, a challenge time exercise. Moppy, what do you think about BTC dominance and the altcoins? So I can analyze the altcoin charts, no problem, but I don't combine it with the dominance chart. I never use the dominance chart in deciding what my Elliott wave count on the chart says. So for me, price is leading. I also don't have a count on the dominance chart. It's a percentage chart where you can't go above 100, nor can you go below a 0. But it definitely, from an Elliott wave perspective, it looks like you're into 4/5s, right? Like you're a lot of overlap recently, and it just looks very corrective, I suppose. Yeah, challenge time. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second here. What am I gonna? Oh, I have a fun one here. Okay, I have a I have a fun one, and there is a lesson to this as well. Okay, everyone, make sure you participate. A straight line is a 5-wave structure, okay? This line is a 3-wave structure, both up or down, okay? Okay. At this moment in time, what scenarios do you have in mind? And this is only the start. Okay, chat. If this is your structure, currently it's a 535, but it's not finished. We are not talking, this is not a quiz. This is not a quiz. It's not guess the structure, right? So if price is forming this structure, what are the scenarios that you will have on your chart? That's what we're doing now. Okay. Mohammed, Daniel, Sibel, anyone else? This is education now. So it can't be a WXY because this is a 5 and this is a 5. Remember? The straight... wait. I mean, honestly, in that case, what I should have done, I guess, is do 5, 3, 5. Sorry for that. There you go. There you go. Okay. Wait. 5, 3, 5. Okay. I promise. I said a straight line is a 5-wave move. If it's a 3, I'll have a 3 move. Wow, there's a lot. Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's a 5, 3, 5. So what are the scenarios? What do you count on your chart when this is what you see? And it's not finished. It's not a finished structure, right? This is evolving. It's still printing candles, but this is what it shows you at the moment. ABC, B, opletten Jeroen. Wow, corrective move or diagonal. Take out the low. Morgen, Jared, how you doing? Leading diagonal or a zigzag? Leading diagonal. Okay. So, from an Elliott wave point of view, the people that answered, right? Because you need the highest probability on your chart, right? The highest probability scenario on your chart. So when I see, for example, so in this case, the highest probability scenarios on your chart after you have a 5, 3, 5, and there's really only 2, right? And they were mentioned at the beginning as well. But it is the people here that say zigzag and an impulse. That's correct. The moment you have this on your chart, your highest probability scenario is either going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse or an ABC zigzag. But wait, because this is only the first structure. Because price is evolving. Price is evolving, right? Price is evolving. Okay. So the ones that said a 1, 2, 3 and an ABC are correct. Okay? Okay. We continue. Okay. I'm gonna be, yeah, okay. I'm thinking. I have another one in my head now. Okay. I'm thinking. I'm gonna add because price is printing. All right, price is printing. Of course, it's my drawing. So my drawings are, of course, not as accurate. Okay, wait 1 second. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna draw the same scenario, but give me 1 second. Because this is what Bitcoin sometimes really likes to do. Okay. All right. So let's say these two are at the same level. Okay. This is advanced now. This is advanced. Okay, everyone. What are the two scenarios? Well, I shouldn't say two or whatever. When you see this, What are the highest probability scenarios on your chart? Oh, by the way, the 382, wait. The 382 is taken from this low to this high. The 05 is taken from this low to this high. Okay. What are we looking at? The highest probability on your chart. Pokemon cards. A leading diagonal is not an impulse. A leading diagonal is a motive wave and an impulse as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are motive waves, but an impulse is only this. A diagonal is not an impulse. A diagonal is a motive wave. Welcome to the Koens Academy. I know, right? Wave 4 is not invalid because the 0.5 is touched. Right? Yeah, I know, Mark. Short, a zigzag, second correction at 05, double zigzag. Okay, I see many good answers. Yo, we got brains in chat. We should compete against another channel. Elliott Wave Community Competition. EWCC. Elliott Wave Community Competition Championship. Who's going to organize it? Send me a DM. We're going to get all the Elliott Wave channels and we're going to go community against community. Anyway, many people actually are correct. So the two scenarios that you're going to have on your chart at this moment in time, right? Or actually there's three, but okay. But you should at least have two on your chart with the potential of three, okay? You should have on your chart, wait, what are the highest probability this works, no? This works, okay. I'll label it green, very nice. The highest probability on the chart at the moment is basically what most people say is you take out this high. The conclusion of everything that you guys are saying is the probabilities are highest. You take out this high. Why? Because you guys see this. Okay. The 886 pretty much confirms a three-wave structure. You didn't yet take this high. But an 886, very rare. This is a multi 1-2. We're not yet looking at diagonals and all that jizz, right? Whatever. Okay. Highest probability, you take out the high. The two scenarios you're going to have in mind, ooh, that's too big for what I want to write, is what most people said as well, so you guys are good, is you're looking at either a wave 4 of an impulse or a WXY. And do not forget about a sideways WXY. Okay. Now, what's the conclusion of these three? You look at price to take this high at a later stage, right? That's the highest probability. There's only one scenario that can create this at the moment that does not. Actually, I mean, if you build a triangle here, A, B, C, D, E, you're still going to take the high. The only scenario that does not take out or has to take out this high is that this is part of a running flat. A, B, where wave B touches the 0.9. I mean, I let you guys jump in the deep here because this is immediately, of course, very advanced. But if you touch the 0.9, right? C down, W, X, and then because W is a zigzag, you got X, your wave Y can be a flat, but C does not need to take out the high of W. That's the only really scenario that does not take out the high. It's not the highest probability scenario. But that's something to keep in mind. The highest probability is take out this high, right? Because an expanded flat is most common. So even in an expanded flat ABC, you take out this high because it's the most common flat. Wave 4 looking for 5, take out the high. WXY double zigzag, you take out that high. Many of you are correct. I think most of the people were correct. They were shouting for a wave 4 impulse or a WXY double zigzag. But do not forget about the potential of a flat, because I did not show you if this is a straight move up continuation or if we do this. I should have maybe drawn this, because if I now draw this, right, you don't yet know if this is a wave 5 with a 4-5, right? You also don't yet know if this is B and you get C down. So now you need to observe this structure. Anyway, that's of course deep knowledge. So very good, very good, very good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay. We clean this up a little bit and we stick with this structure. The nice thing about a zigzag is that a zigzag structure / impulsive structure, right, can create many different scenarios. So this again, this is your 5-3-5. Okay. We all know that this is a zigzag or an impulse. I already asked the question. So next move, okay? Next structure. 1 second here, I'm thinking. No, wait. If we would pull a volume profile here, then this is the point of control. Okay. What's the highest probability? Chat. These are all scenarios that you will see in real life. What's the highest probability? Scenario here. Baby steps. I know. I know. Yeah. Man, if ever I'm going to have an educational platform, I better start very easy and don't drop people in the deep water. Diagonal or wave X in a WXY. Impulse to the downside, WXY, impulse and correction, WXY down, WXY, WX, take the high for Y. I like that writing. WXY, then diagonal in 1. Impulse to the downside or WXY. Highest probability on the guy. Dark background, can't read the numbers. It's not about the numbers at the moment here. We're looking at this, just purely this structure. It's just a question. We should call it a name, but Jeroen dropping in as well. Double zigzag, maybe a sideways double combo or a zigzag, and then impulse down. Many solid answers here. Okay, you guys ready? You guys ready? Pleasure feed your dreams. So first of all, when you have a move up and a move down, a diagonal nor a triangle will never have the highest probabilities. So it's not wrong. The answer is not wrong, right? This can still become a triangle. This can still become a diagonal. But the question is, which one has the highest probability? Because now we got to think also about how do we trade this, right? What is the highest probability, right? For a diagonal, it's too early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You want to wait for wave 4. Triangle, too early. You need an A, B, C, D, E. Wait for D, right? So it's too early to give a diagonal or a triangle the highest probabilities. So we need to think about other structures when we see this, right? And many of the answers that are in chat and that I still see coming in as well, right, are correct. Jenny is the only one that picks up. Wait, is there anyone else that mentioned the point of control? Wait, let me have a look here. Obviously, I put that point of control there for a reason. Jenny coming in hot. Yes, Jenny. That is why I put that point of control on the chart. Jenny writes, you likely bounce from the point of control and the order block of the range. Yes, but that's very sharp, very sharp. Yeah, that's very good. Very good. So the highest probability scenario in this case, right? You have a zigzag to the upside confirmed by moving down, touching the 618. You see this very often, by the way, that price moves down, touches the golden pocket, and creates a bit of a bounce. We cannot count this move down as a wave 4 anymore in an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then price falls after, takes out that particular low. Of course, you know, if we didn't know it was going to go down, you could still get a double zigzag at the previous exercise. But here we have a 3 move up, and what it looks so far to be a 3-wave move down. Yes, this can be an impulse to the downside. Finished correction and you continue. Okay, sure. You could even arguably look at a double 1-2. Doesn't have the highest probabilities though. At this moment in time, with regards to probabilities, right, this structure is either the same as here. Another impulse or another zigzag. That's the only 2 things you are looking for locally. With the point of control here, if I didn't put the point of control here, it would have been easier. But Jenny is sharp because now you're like, well, we finished a correction. We could go down as an impulse and look for 3, 4, 5. Would have been valid, right? Would have been good. But I put a point of control there on purpose. Now, of course, it's an Elliott wave exercise, so I'm actually being very cheeky, of course, because purely Elliott wave-wise, yeah, right, you are either here looking for an impulse down or this is a zigzag. Zigzag up, zigzag down, right? I should actually also have put this on my chart in hindsight. The 0.7 is touched, so a double zigzag goes out the window. So the moment you get a 3-wave structure. I put this on the chart on purpose. Yes, for the ones that said impulse, that's correct. The ones that say WXY are also correct. Sideways. And the ones saying a flat. Yeah, I could have left the POC out just for the exercise, but I didn't. So the highest probability here is that besides the obvious impulse, but because of the support, right, we get a bounce back up. Increasing the probabilities, this is a 3-wave structure. Okay? So we have 3 up, 3 down. So I saw many comments in chat that say, okay, potential for a WXY. Correct. Potential for a WXY. Right? Triangle is still too early. Alternatively, an impulse down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, and you just continue to the downside. Also people that mentioned this. Okay, so very good. WXY, correct. A lot of WXYs were in chat. CryptoSare also with the 1, 2, 1, 2, right? That's a scenario. But you first need a corrective 2 here. So this needs to be a corrective structure. And then we could look for a move down. Okay. So the WXYs plus potential impulse are correct, but the point of control was there, like Jenny said, for a bounce. Okay. We continue. Okay, everyone. Wait. Chat. What is the highest probability scenario on your chart? Triangle, 1, 2, 1, 2. Higher to take the low. I mean, you are correct, Sufan. The probabilities are higher to take the low sooner or later. You are correct. And that's because the first structure is a 3-waver. Think in probabilities, guys. What is the highest probability? Okay. Wait. I realize I need to make things. There you go. That will help. Double zigzag down, 886 touch, WXY in X or B of sideways, WXY expanded flat, or WXY or flat low probabilities to multi-1-2 to time. Koens, do you have any education course? No, not in this type of detail. At least not yet, I suppose. Is there bullish CVDs yet? You mean locally? Here on the real chart, or WX prop for an impulse for Y. X. So the highest probability still to take that 74K low before 93. No, we're talking about the exercise. We're doing an exercise while Bitcoin is doing its thing. Can't read the red. No, it's not about. This is just a point of control, which was support. We're talking about this here. we're doing an exercise at the same, but probabilities on the chart itself haven't changed to take out the high or move sideways. So, but now price, by the way, when we for a second talk about the real life price, I suppose, price of course now did touch the 0.9, which is a minimum target for a regular flat, A, WXY, B, C, 77K, and then move back up. Right? So then you have a WXY, which in other words is per the morning video, you would then continue the range. But now we have a double top at the high. Anyway. Wave 3 of C, literally running quiz drills to get the community. Yep. Expanding triangle. Yo, Stuba. Stuba coming in with the expanding triangle. Stuba, by the way, is a very good Elliott wave analyst himself. If you haven't seen him in Discord, just check for his messages. He has great ideas. He's a great analyst. Okay, so we can't. So here comes the explanation. We can't have we have a 3-wave structure. We can't really look for a double 1-2 because the 886 is touched. 886 very rare for 2. So probability is higher. This is a 3, but we have another 3. You can see that this one. In time is, of course, I try to draw this one, in time quite short compared to this one, right? Therefore, we're not really looking for a triangle at the moment. Also, it's too early. A, B, you need C, D, E. We're not yet with D, right? Need to wait. So at the moment, the highest probability is a W, is a WXY or a flat. WXY is W, X, and then this becomes either a triangle or a flat. Alternatively, you have the flat, A, B, C. Those are the two highest probability scenarios at the moment. Okay. Very nice. Which, by the way, also means you're looking for a retracement. Okay. This is an exercise, guys. It's not about how does this structure fit in the bigger. This is purely an exercise for the community. We're not relating any of this to the. It's just Elliott wave training. I'm doing live coaching. Okay. So we continue. One second here. What is the 1, 2, multiple highest probability scenario? And don't get me wrong, this is stuff that happens on the charts in real life. I'm not just making this shit up. Okay? This happens on the chart. Koen's having quizzes as Bitcoin dumps. Yeah, I mean, Bitcoin moving down. We're at the area of resistance. Didn't yet take out the high, but of course the potential at least for the WXY. So possibly a flat. We just missed out on taking the high, but it doesn't change the scenarios I explained in the beginning, right? So we're still looking for price to retrace in the end. So yeah. So, but I know the meme you're thinking of. So okay, what are we looking for? Why does wave Y has to be a triangle or a flat? Because if wave W is a zigzag, right? If we would, 1 second, this is gone. If this is your W, that's your X. W is a zigzag, right? And wave X touched the 0.7 fib taken from the low to the high of W, which means that a double zigzag is very unlikely. You're going to be looking for a sideways WXY, and therefore wave W is a zigzag, wave Y cannot be a zigzag. If W is a zigzag and wave X retraces beyond the 0.7, a double zigzag very unlikely, higher probability that your wave Y is a flat or a zigzag. In a sideways WXY, you cannot have two zigzags in W and in Y. Okay. So, wave 2 of C in a flat triangle up in C of Y. Triangle, because we have D now. WXY and X looks like triangle due to time. I like what No Choke says here. Okay. So I think No Choke, very, very sharp there. Triangle wave D. So what no choke does is very important here, and that is using time. So what people tend to do with triangles, right, is they love to do and pull their trend lines, okay? But you can see how big this move is. You can see how big this one is. Look how small this one is, right, in time as well. It's very short in time. It's a very short structure. So indeed, a triangle, right, is a scenario. So you guys are correct. You're starting to think about one, but this is not your D in that case because of time. It's very, very short. That's sometimes what happens on a chart is you have a move up, a move down, right? Both are big. Then you have another move, and then you get this. And then people are like, that's D and E. It's low probability because of time. So you got to think about different stuff at that moment in time. So the same stuff holds. You're still thinking about the WX and the Y, and this can be a triangle in Y. So yes, the people that said that, absolutely correct. Because then you have A, B, C, D, E. And now this structure is correct in time, right? Move up, move down. Looks good. Alternatively, A, W, X, Y, B, C in Y. Okay? You can now also see why W, X, Ys are difficult structures. Welcome to Elliott waves. So that is absolutely correct. People that say triangle, you're on the good path, okay? You're thinking in a good direction. But not A, B, C, D yet. However, we continue. It becomes easier and easier as I go, of course. I put the 07 here for a reason, because now we are looking for... Oh, too big. So the 0.7 is not touched. Okay. Yeah, I know. Gotta take time into account. Okay. Highest probability. What are you guys thinking about here when I do this? Yeah, it gets tricky now. What's the highest probability scenario here on the white lines? Is now Bitcoin going to 77 again? We do have untouched support at 77. But probabilities remain higher. Like, so let me just do this in the meantime while answers are coming in. Probability is higher to take the high. If you do continue down, just sideways ranging. There's at the moment not yet a scenario that significantly increases probabilities to take the double bottom. Maybe after the weekend later, but for now it's all ranging. Even if you take out the high, probabilities are higher. You continue ranging afterwards and go back inside the range. So no. Okay, so I here see triangle wave D, A, B. That would be a C, of course. People, I suppose human nature, because our minds are programmed to like symmetrical things. You know, it might be up in C of Y. Where and when even would you trade in this hypothetical structure? We'll get to that. Trend is up, WXY in X of X of the... Yo, what's up, Endemic? Triangle end of wave C or flat wave C beginning. Yeah, now it becomes tricky. So, of course, less people may know. So this is complex. Let me use real letters now, right? So because of this, one scenario should come to mind. Even when you're not yet at wave D. And that is just because wave C is now counted as a double zigzag. So a triangle should be in the scenarios. Also because of time. A, B, C, double zigzag, highest probability in a triangle that C is a more complex structure, right? And then you would get another D and another E. Okay. So this is what leads to a triangle. So it is a triangle where you can now, because of the double zigzag, think, okay, we have a 3-wave up, we have a 3-wave down, 3-wave up, 3-wave down, 3-wave up. What the fuck, right? I can hear you thinking, but this is what the chart shows as well, right? This is real life stuff. Double zigzag, W, X, and then a Y. So a triangle should at least be one of the considerations here. Because of all the 3-wavy stuff that you see on my chart as well, alternatives are going to be WXYs. So you will still have your W, right? Sometimes wave X can be very long. So you can have your W, your X, A, B, C, and that's your Y. You always, in this case, are going to think about a WXY besides a triangle. Those are always the two highest probabilities when you have this. Okay. Yeah. And then, oh well, DE. So let's finish with this structure. I just wanted to slowly but surely build up to a structure that mimics a triangle. Just to show you how difficult triangles can be. All right. Triangles are one of the most tricky structures in Elliott waves. The thing is, of course, that once a chart is moving like this, people are very quick to judge with trend lines. Right? But generally, when you have a simple zigzag in a wave C, so you have a zigzag A, zigzag B, and a zigzag here, a triangle, when this is a zigzag, is not yet a highest probability. You will prefer WXYs over the triangle. But when this becomes a zigzag, zigzag, and then a double zigzag, right? That is where a triangle becomes one of the options. Higher probabilities. The probabilities increase because it's wave C of a triangle. It's a complex structure, 2 times simple, 1 complex on the position of a C. So triangles are tricky. They're very difficult structures. So, yeah. Hey, guys, we've done some fun... we did a fun exercise, but it's time for me to go. Where have I learned all this? I learned it by myself, to be honest. I learned it by this website and many other websites, but this is, I'm not affiliated. This is, I don't even know if you can buy anything here. I have never done so, but this website, it's in the Linktree. Linktree is in the description. So you can go to this website. Very good. About like, I guess 90% is in here. They don't really talk about time, but it has a lot of information and examples and targets, and that's good. The Elliott Wave Principle book I've read, and yeah, that's it. So online resources and the book. I've learned it all myself. It took 2 years to be basically still where I am today. I mean, of course, I don't really feel like I'm really improving anymore. There are still little things that I pick up or learn, but of course, there's always something you can do. But of course, in the beginning, progress is very fast. But once you're, at an expert level, it becomes a lot slower, and you start to think about different things. Like the 886 is something that I thought of, which is something we use here all the time, which you won't find in the book, right? You won't find that on a website. But that's when you exceed the traditional knowledge and you start to, build upon the existing knowledge. So yeah, it's just I learned it myself. It took me about 1.5 years to be good, and another half a year extra to I suppose, I don't really like to say this stuff, but I guess that you know, like I'll just go along with it, is 1.5 years to be good, 2 years to be excellent, and really, you know, be there. So yeah, does Elliott wave make trading easier? Yes, because it gives you a directional bias. So for example, the short we took here, right? Move up, right? Grind. We were looking for shorts. Remember, you can check the live stream yesterday. We were thinking, is this a wave 4 still? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or not? Well, eventually it starts to be too long. Bearish CVDs. We have a grind in the beginning, impulse up, bit of a grind at the end. We're looking for a retracement. We also touched resistance as something additional. Same over here as well. So we have a move, sharp move down, bit of a grind, sharp down. This is simple. This is impulses. But then you have a sharp move down. You start moving sideways. You're going to look for price to move the opposite direction again. Right? This is where things are tricky. So you have a very sharp move up. You don't really get time. There's not really a grind here. So there's not an easy short. So you got to wait for more information at that moment in time. Where do you trade towards? What level? It depends on the setup, of course. Yeah, depends on the setup. The long that I had yesterday was taken here. And then I traded to... Well, I exited before I went to bed. I said everything during the stream back then, so I exited somewhere here. And then yesterday, or that was 2 days ago, and then yesterday I took a short, actually 2 shorts, but they were all around this area, right? And then we hit support, which was this box. And then as price hit support, I wasn't immediately out yet. I just waited along, and then when I went to bed, I closed it. Also, I actually shared something in silver that I didn't share here. Let me quickly find it. Just for your education, which is important. 1 second. Okay, I found it. I've been posting a lot yesterday. So in silver, if price takes out the high, we have to be aware that this range is quite lengthy already, and the probabilities for this to be a wave 4 will diminish. Which, in other words, look for a bounce. So here, if price takes out this high at 79,840, we are now we are behind a 4 fib time compared to 2. So this range starts to be long if you take out this high, right? And then the probabilities turn, like the probabilities for this price action to still be a wave 4 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 decrease because you make another high after a 4 fib time. And then the probabilities increase that you have a potential bottom, or at least look for a retracement up for WXY or ABC and a bigger move. Right? Did you try other methods before Elliott's waves? I got into Elliott waves basically in my second month of being in the markets. So I've never, I basically can say like I've never really analyzed the markets without Elliott waves, but I did study many other types of analysis. Which is also what I use in my boxes. Back in the day, I used everything. Like I used so much stuff. I did the fibs, I did the trend-based fib extensions. I gotta say, I didn't really get into this stuff. The pitch fan though, I did. Gun. That's something Samith is doing. Gun, the speed fan, right? I did the Elliott wave stuff. Never got into harmonics, to be honest. Trend lines, VWAP, horizontals, channels, volume profile. And then eventually I scale down in the tools that I like to use. And those are the ones that you see me use now, which is volume, right? Time frame horizontals as well. Volume profile, point of controls, Elliott waves. But Elliott waves is, that's my expertise. Okay. think about getting a certified. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't actually. So I think test one, GZ in the group. So we have someone in the group called GZ, and he has done Sewa 1, which I believe he said is more theoretical. 2 and 3 are more counting. I met the founder of Elliott Wave International, Robert Prechter, a month ago in America, and I mean, we spoke about a lot of things and a little bit on certification. And yeah, I mean, maybe I'll give it a shot. But so far, I've never needed a certification to show what I do. I guess, like, show my expertise in the matter. I don't know. Maybe it can help in a way if I show, like, hey, you guys, I'm a certified Elliott Wave analyst by Elliott Wave International. Tada! But don't forget, Elliott Wave International is a company. It's just a company. So being certified is it's just a course basically, and if you finish the course, you get a certification. And of course, as they are in the market for already 50 years or 40 something years, Elliott Wave International has a certain status, and that's what people use. So the certification is bound to Elliott Wave International, which has a name in the financial industry. But the certification itself is just an online course, really. And it shows that you have a certain understanding of Elliott Waves. And maybe it can get you in the door in financial institutions, for example, where they maybe ask papers. And if you want to be an analyst or a trader on the floor or something like this, and they ask what's your skill set, do you have papers, then it might be important to have something like this. But I've not really deep dived into the certification process. It could be fun one day and just pass the tests. So Prechter, well, I really enjoyed talking with Prechter, and they have such a great company, Elliott Wave International, and everything they do, and the certification, and it's very impressive, very impressive. So, where do you trade towards? Generally, my boxes. Why do other Elliott Wave not talk about 618 or 887 in detail, do you think? I don't know. Maybe they just didn't see it, because the 618 and the 887 is not standard theory. You won't read it in the book. You won't read it on the website. This is advanced Elliott Waves, because now you are going to use your existing knowledge with your implementation, and you're gonna find you don't have to think anymore about how to count. It comes naturally, right? You're gonna be at a certain moment. You're gonna realize. You look at the chart. Your eyes just know. You don't even need to put it on the chart anymore. You don't have to think about the targets and this and that. It gives you a lot more freedom to think about the combination of the implementation, the theory, and things that are missing, like the 618, like the 886. So that is something that I found while doing my analysis, my implementation, my trading. I found like two different patterns. I found the 618 when touched, right, for 4, potential 4, and the 886. And this is when I got into testing. So, yeah. I don't know anyone else that really goes into this material, like the 618 and the 886. But it's something that I have found myself, which I happily share with everyone here. And probably can imagine there are some other YouTubers watching the content sometimes as well. So maybe they will start using the 886 or the 618 the way I do as well, because they learned it on the channel, which would be cool. It would be cool. Yeah, but yeah, it's something that I don't know if I would say I discovered, but it's something that I have found. Oh. Yeah, especially the 886. The thing with the 618 is it's not specifically written, but we use it as an invalidation. And that's a bit of a difference. So it's not written like the 618 is an invalidation. It doesn't write about the 618 for wave 4, but generally wave 4 is shallow, which you can imply means not touching a 618. But we are very hard in the 618, wave 4 out. The 886 is something that ooh, wow, nice catch, Koen. The 886 is something that I have found. I've not encountered anywhere else when I started using it a few years ago. I have not seen anyone else talk about the 886 the way we do it and how to use Elliott wave probabilities and the theory of the 886 into your analysis, which is quite cool. I actually spoke to Prechter about the 886, and yeah, it was a great conversation. So he has never found a, or I should say maybe never did research, but when we were talking about it, he didn't specifically knew about the 886. It's not a Fibonacci that he uses. But I explained to him and we spoke about it. So he was impressed. Yeah. Man, we had such a great dinner. It was so much fun. He could be like the fun grandpa. It really felt like it was so natural and so chill and so down to earth. I felt like I was having dinner with my grandpa and grandma. No kid. For what am I using the 886? Elliott wave probabilities of taking out a high or a low or a continuation of the trend. Local flat on Bitcoin looks good. Continued bullish CVDs. I see. Well, bit of a move down, but probabilities of this morning don't really change. Elliott wave just also follows the psychology of traders, so it just so happens to take you to the numbers into end up using. It's like a roadmap. Yeah. You want to trade in the direction of your bias that comes from Elliott waves. Is the 886 due to stop hunts for those who put them? Well, so I thought about it. Look, one way I got into the 886 is because I got wrecked with the 886. I guess that's sometimes where it starts, right? Your fails can become your biggest successes. So from a trading point of view, I have a feeling that the reason why the 886 reacts and why it's an interesting level is because breakout traders might be a little bit trigger heavy, enter for a breakout, then it returns to the golden pocket or an 05, they lose the confidence, and then later it turns back around. But this is hypothetical, right? I just have data. I just have data. This is thinking about the why, but I can't talk to millions of traders. I don't have the reach. But it makes sense if you think like, well, the 886, we're almost touching the level. People probably get wrecked just before, they want to trade the breakout. They're like, let me just enter now. And then, oh shit, we don't break out. Is the 886 due to stop hunts for those who put them above 786? But it's still a stop that matters, because generally you would expect price to still turn around after hitting the stops and actually move into your stop loss anyway. You hit the 886, usually after an 886 touch, most common, you retrace back, getting close to a golden pocket or touch it at least, and then afterwards continue. Yeah, so if it hits the 886, it continues more often. Yeah, there's a lot that comes with the 886 in how to use it. It's relatively easy. It's one fib, but the theory behind it and how I implement it with Elliott waves is I put that in the compendium. It's in the compendium. Oh. Yo, what's up, A? How you doing? That's been a while. Good to have you here, man. Is there a difference between wave 2 and 4 time and the wave X and B time? Yeah, so wave 2 and 4 time and wave X and B. Well, a wave X and a B are generally longer in time than a Yeah, wait, so you got to compare here. You got to compare 2 and B and 4 and X, right? Because 2 and B both have an impulse, 5, before the B or the 2. And the 4 has a 3 wave, right? 1, 2, 3. And X also has a 3, right? W. Okay, so the zigzag. So you need to compare X and 4 and 2 and B. So if you compare 2 and B in time, their time is quite similar, right? So you have the 3A2 as a minimum. Generally, the 4 as a max. 5 or 6 would be very long. But a B can more commonly be long compared to a 2. 2s tend to be, most commonly, shorter in time. Right? Wait, did we have emoticons? I didn't see. My webcam is on a small window on the side. I see what you see on my OBS, so I don't know. So if you get a 5 wave up and a longer sideways structure, it's higher probability it's a B versus a 2. 2s tend to be more short and sharp. Now with a wave 4 and an X, a wave 4 is bound in time to wave 2, but wave X is bound in time to wave W, and wave W is the whole structure. So if you have this, you either look for a 4 now or you look for X. But 4 is compared to this, while X is compared to this. So therefore your X would be longer, right? Most common, of course, would be longer in time than your wave 4. Because it's matched against a bigger structure. Your W is bigger than your 2, 4. Yeah. Correct. And you got it. Yeah. And there's a couple of things that come with it as well. Trez, do we have each other on Discord by any chance? If not, write me a DM. I mean, I do have lawyers. They're currently writing terms and conditions for the Elliott wave book. Yeah, the compendium has it with terms and conditions and stuff as well. A peace sign next to my face. Is that balloons? Hey, okay. Okay, that's how it works. Are there more things that I can do? That's funny. Yeah, you can just DM me if you want. I don't. Do you have knowledge about this stuff? I can also just write my lawyers, of course, but I'm interested in what you say. Maybe you have some sort of knowledge about protection, copyright. My lawyers are now writing terms and conditions for the compendium. No. Yeah, I know now how it works. I'm not gonna abuse it. Okay. Everyone, it's time to go. It's time to go. I love hanging out with all of you. I'm here already for 2.5 hours again. Yesterday was 5 hours. Today 2.5. But I gotta get my ass kicking. Put the middle finger. I bet that one does not have an emote. YouTube be like, this is not the behavior we want. We're gonna take the video off. Okay. Anyway, thanks everyone for being here. Again, I had a great time hanging out with all of you. Probabilities. Wait, maybe. Okay. Probabilities. Probabilities haven't changed. I wanted to end there, but probabilities. They haven't changed, to be honest. Look. At the moment, and this is almost like the exercise, right? You have a lot of 3-wavy structures. From a probability perspective, right? You're still at this moment looking to take out the high at a later stage. If you go back down and take this low, then a flat becomes more interesting, right? And then there you go. You're going to look for your W, X, and your Ys. But Yeah, at the moment it's more interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction, get a wave C, take out the double top, or W, right? W, X, and then Y, right? So yeah, that's. But let me just say this: from a trading perspective, we are at resistance. This is not. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not longing here. This is, right? Yesterday we were live. This, together with the blue box, where is it? This is your area of interest to look for signs of strength. This is your area of interest to look for signs of weakness, not strength, right? Not strength. We have resistance just above us. If we pass this resistance, there's still a couple of levels above, but okay, could be interesting. Who knows? But at the moment, right? This is more interesting to look for signs of weakness. Personally, I'm interested if price can touch 84 and at least take out this high. That would interest me. I don't want to be involved with structures like this. It's too quick for me. I need more time, more structures. I need a solid retracement, corrective move, maybe some bear CVD, la-di-la, and then I'm interested. But at the moment, this is, like, you have people that, some people be like, oh, okay, so interesting, might take the high. Let me just do this. Then what the F, dude? Like, you need a plan, you need a strategy, you need your own approach. And maybe there is a trade short or long here for you. Maybe you're short, maybe you're long, according to your plan. But it's not my plan. From an Elliott wave point of view, this area, we're at the top of the range as well. It's an area of interest for me to look for moves down again. If I see signs of weakness, for me, this is not yet enough. No, you first. So probabilities haven't changed, but and if price goes down without me, no problem, right? I'll just wait for a next great setup. I don't need to trade every move on the chart. I need to trade the best ones, right? Not all the moves. I need to catch the best moves. Right? I care about winning. That's what I care about most. What do we have? A little bit of bearish CVDs locally. This looks a little bit three-wavy at the moment. So, well. At the moment here, locally, this looks like a three-wave structure. Potentially, you could get a WXY or, I don't know, double 1-2 would be bearish. 1-2-1-2, get a 3 down. But 1-2 up. I don't want to be bothered on a 1-minute time frame. It's not really useful. So that is where I want to close. So from a trading perspective, it's a lot more interesting at the high of the range, just below resistance, to look for signs of weakness. But for me, it's just not enough. Yeah, exactly, Nick. Mark always does it. Okay, so there we go. Thanks for being here. Hope you had a good time. I had a good time. The weekend is coming up, and generally during the weekend, I am not really active on YouTube because I tend to do other activities. There's Formula One as well. And I'll do stuff with my wife and go and visit some things here. So we'll see if in the weekend there's gonna be something crazy and I there's something I need to talk about. I'll make sure to do it. Of course, silvers, you'll just get updates in the mornings, no worries. But generally, I take it easy with the content. It takes a lot of time. So enjoy the weekend. As you said, F1, as I thought you looked like a Formula One. Exactly. Formula One, man. I've been watching for so long already. I actually wanted to be a racing driver myself back in the day. But my parents deemed it too dangerous. So, or actually my mom, and they didn't have the money. But I have quite a good build for it. I'm relatively light. I'm 175, but hey, I wanted to be a Max Verstappen 2.0, which no one can be because this guy's he's a fucking beast. So I'm happy where I am. Yeah, but I do like racing. If there's a couple of people here, some of you're in the south of France, we can go go-karting. Yeah, we can go go-karting. It's fun. even though go-karts are always different. Every go-kart, you know, has a completely different feel, but hey, it's for the fun. No, it's for the fun. Okay, time to go. I'll see you at the next one.